Are you overweight? Have you thought about losing weight but just don't know how? Did you want to put on muscle, or did you want some extra protein in your diet to help you work out? Well, your problem has been solved. Come to my website, goherbalife.com/Brandon Herbert, and we'll give you a 10% discount on your order. Please, if you need help, we'll be more than happy to reach out to you and help you. That's goherbalife.com/Brandon Herbert. What's going on, Panther Nation? This is your host, Brandon Herbert, the Black Cat. Had an amazing few weeks. As y'all know that I'm in the military and everything, all that good stuff. I've been saying a lot, but I got my goals down and everything. This is going to be a weekly task finally. Finally able to, like I said, it just cost a little bit more to do than I actually thought and everything like that. So I got all my equipment, got everything good. Hopefully y'all can continuously enjoy and everything. And yeah, so this is the Black Cats podcast, and let's get it.
Y'all know what time it is. Why? I like to introduce the song. Bow, ha, and present to many. Ha, Carolina Panthers. T1, let go. There we go again. You know we about to show out, cause we know we gon' win. We ready for the kick out, so go on, let us in, so we can hit the end zone and show you how we dance. Black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. Yeah, black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. Yeah. Game face on, ready for whatever. Rain, sleet, snow, go through any weather. We gon' play to win, as long as we together. We gon' take it out, cause ain't nobody better. Heart of a champ, mind of a winner. All we do is win, that's the anthem. Show up to your city and make a lot of noise, and they be like, who that? Panther! Yeah, we be going hard, and we be going strong. We known very well, cause we be putting on. Losing on condone that, point blank period. Shut the league down, cause it is that serious. There we go again. You know we about to show out, cause we know we gon' win. We ready for the kick out, so go on, let us in, so we can hit the end zone and show you how we dance. Black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. Yeah, black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. We gon' get it. Yo.
What is going on, Panther Nation? And we have what a show we have for you today. It is the draft week. We're so excited. Oh my goodness. We are very so excited. I just got invited to one of my favorite podcasts, the one that I know that y'all told y'all gave me the inspiration to actually pursue this. I just got invited to the C3 podcast. It'll be awesome time. I'll be on there for like 10 or 15 minutes. Talk some Panther football, but that's then and this is now. We have quite a show for you today. We're going to talk about a lot of more focus on the draft and our needs and everything like that. But yeah, I am so excited. For it is a great time to be a Panther fan. I am so excited for everything. We have quite a show for you today. So the first thing that I like to talk about, because we have the 2018 draft coming up, so I want to look back on our 2017 draft. To me personally, our 2017 draft, other than Christian McCaffrey, is one of the worst drafts in our history. We have a lot of to be determined and everything like that, but you really can't get that much non-production from our draft. And that brings me to, I know you know don't beat a dead horse or anything like that. That brings me to Dave Gettleman. He if you look at his draft status and everything, he is probably the worst. The worst. We bash on him a lot, but like he was great with the financial aspect, but I don't think he is a great you know recruiter, or should I say scout, because if you look at all of his drafts, like you can say, all right, you can say Christian McCaffrey, you can say KK. Most of his draft picks aren't even on the team anymore. Like he was with us since what, 2012. So, and he didn't even draft the 2012 draft. So, like well, I think he started in 2013. I'm sorry, but regardless, he was with us from then until now, until he got fired last year. And look at his drafts. Like half the players on the draft that he drafted aren't even on the team anymore. They're cut. They were traded. There were a lot of things like, and that just shows that it's more than just getting the salary cap down. That's a great thing. That's a great ability. But he really screwed us over in the draft if you look at it. Like, and you can say what you want about Marty Herney, and I've been a huge Marty Herney like doubter and basher and all that kind of stuff. But he is a really, really good. He's really good in the draft. Like, he doesn't really miss. He really doesn't miss on first rounders. And like we've had a discussion before, the only first round you can kind of barely say that he missed on is Jeff Otah, which Jeff Otah was a great talent. He was a great talent, but he just couldn't stay healthy. So I don't really not put that on him too much. But yeah, like just look at our draft last year. Like our draft last year, Christian McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel. We don't know what Corn Elder is gonna do. Deshaun Hall didn't play. Like this year, we have a great opportunity. Unless there's somebody like super good, I don't want to trade up. We have a great opportunity. We have a high third round pick, and then we have another third. We have 2 third-round picks, and we can do some damage. Now, if there's somebody that's just like crazy that's there, I wouldn't mind trading one away. But be careful. And my friends at C3, they made a lot of good points. With like I've been really saying that we don't need a cornerback and don't need a cornerback, but then I actually looked at the talent at cornerback. The cornerback is the deepest position, and we need somebody back on the back end. I'm just saying, if there is a defensive end, so to speak, a defensive end or a pass rusher that we didn't think was going to be there, that is like an unbelievable talent, I would rather take them than a really good cornerback. But if there's not, I have no problem taking a safety. We really need safety. We're bad at safety. Like, we have no speed at safety. Even with Cersei, we don't have any speed at safety. He's an older guy. So we really need, like, if you want to talk about secondary, that is our biggest need in the secondary. Our cornerbacks, I feel like with a good enough pass rush can be serviceable. Our safeties are horrible. Like, and I know Tony was talking about a lot, that Harrison guy. So I went back and looked at film. Like, he can rock you. Like, he can rock you. Like, he is a pretty good safety in the draft. We've been having to look at Bates maybe in the second round and everything like that. A lot of people, like, we need to see. I don't really think we need to address our offensive line as bad as a lot of people may think. And plus, picking an offensive lineman that late in the draft, in the later first rounds, barely works. Like, you can look at, that Carpenter guy from Seattle. You can look at different examples. They barely work. Like, I'd rather have, if I'm going to go offensive lineman, I'd rather in the second or third round then you can kind of have a little bit of time. You don't have to throw them in. And like I said, and that's another thing. We've been drafting offensive line, like we're not maybe not with a first round pick, but we've been drafting offensive line pretty early, like second and third rounders. That's still on the team right now. So we need to give them a chance to to grow and to show that they can do it, because like if not, those are another bust that we drafted. Like we have to give them a shot. Like and I mean we I really am a believer in Norv Turner and the things that he will bring to this offense. Like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm a huge believer in Christian McCaffrey, more than just a pass, out the back, pass back, and everything like that. People could say that Alvin Kamara did more than him and everything like that. I get that, but I still see, yes, Alvin Kamara had a better rushing, and everything. I get that, but as an overall talent, I still, in the next 3 years, I put my money on Christian McCaffrey rather than Kamara. And I'm a huge Kamara fan. He won my fantasy league for me. So I'm a huge Kamara fan. But as longevity and different things like that, the one thing that Christian McCaffrey has that Kamara doesn't have is I'm not saying Kamara isn't smart, but Christian McCaffrey, if you look at him, he never takes big hits. Never takes big hits. And you can't say the same. I mean, you saw Kamara and the concussions and all this kind of stuff. Like, Christian McCaffrey in this system will be a dominant back. He will be used the LT role. Because when LT first came out, a lot of people don't remember, but when LT first came out, he wasn't seen as a future type back. He was seen as this change of pace type of back that, couldn't just ground and pound you. He couldn't run up the middle. And he proved him wrong. And that's the way that I see that this is going to work. And like I told you, there are so many different ways we can go with the draft right now. And like I said, I'm trying to be as upfront with our weaknesses as I possibly can. And I really do think that we have the potential of drafting a safety, a tight end. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but a tight end. Greg Olsen isn't getting much younger. A safety, a tight end, a defensive end, of course, if there's one available, because like you said, this is a weak draft for a defensive end. So we might have to rely on somebody like Deshaun Hall and different players like that to get something done. I really wish that we could trade up. Now, like I told y'all before, I'm not a big person on drafting a receiver, because I feel like we have enough guys on our team that can make a difference, especially with the scheme. See, a lot of people, they're like shrugging off the scheme and everything like that. No, the scheme is what makes players sometimes. Like, some players are so great that they can play in just about any scheme. But the majority of players in the NFL, they need to fit the right scheme fit. Because, yeah, they need to the fit to because certain offensive coordinators can get you open. They can scheme you. We had a discussion about Chris Gamble and why I thought that he was so much better than Josh Norman. And by the way, a lot of people are saying, Josh Norman had those incredible picks, and I get Josh Norman had big plays and big moments. But don't act like Chris Gamble didn't. And secondly, Josh Norman in that year, he had a phenomenal year. He had 7 interceptions. Chris Gamble had 7 interceptions in 1 year. So it's not it's comparing apples to oranges in my view, because Chris Gamble, he was an ultimate pro. And I get now the only thing I would give over Norman is like he could get in some players' heads and everything because Chris Gamble he wasn't a talker. He went out there and did his job and did it in a profound way. Like a lot of people don't realize like Chris Gamble could play zone. He could play man. Like he was a really really good corner. And you have to see the difference. Like Josh Norman, he is a scheme fit type of corner. I promise you, you could put Chris Gamble on a man team, you could put Chris Gamble on a zone team, and he would thrive just as well. Like, he shut down some of the best receivers. And I get that Josh Norman did too in that 1 year. He shut down some of the best receivers in the game. But, like, I mean, Chris Gamble was going up against, like, these 6'4", 6'5" receivers. Like, Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson. Like, he was going up against some of the best athletes in the world. And even I think he was even there when he was there when Julio Jones might have been there, I believe. Like, yeah, so like Chris Gamble, he wasn't a scrub by any means. And like Tony said on the C3 podcast, like he was more consistent, but there's no way I would give Josh Norman even that 1 year. Even that 1 year, it was no way that I would give Josh Norman the edge over him that 1 year. Because I get it, and I have a very, very vivid memory. I remember the New Orleans game. I remember the Jacksonville game. I remember all those games that he came in clutch. I remember the Tampa Bay game. I remember all those games, and yes, he came in very, very clutch. And I'll even give you this. If you want to say that Josh Norman in that 1 year was more clutch than Chris Gamble, I'll give you that. But a lot of people, if you look at it, like Chris Gamble was a shutdown corner that didn't get the credit for being a shutdown corner because a lot of people did not go his way. Like it wasn't like Josh Norman towards the middle of the year he started putting fear in people's hearts. But Chris Gamble, a lot of people just didn't go his way. Like he would blanket the receiver. He would just and you got to look at the time that he played. They didn't need another fiery person that just got that got in people's heads and everything. They had Steve Smith. So you have to really evaluate both scenarios because Chris Gamble, to me, he is the best cornerback in Carolina Panthers history, and it's not even close. He spent like 10 years with us, and even when he decided to walk away from the game, he never was like a bum or anything like that. He was never like just bad. So I might be showing up my man crush for Chris Gamble, but Chris Gamble, he was a very good cornerback. And Josh Norman, I love Josh Norman. Don't get me wrong. It was the biggest mistake that a general manager probably could make. I mean, that was the craziest thing to rescind his tag, and I'm just appalled by it. I still am. But because of Ron Rivera's scheme, I guess they felt like it wasn't a big need to have a high-paid cornerback. But like you said, he fit he's actually doing okay over in Washington. He's doing okay, but he fit our scheme so good that it didn't make any sense. Like I get that he's a scheme fit, but he fit it just so well. Like Josh Norman should be on our team right now, but unfortunately, he's not because of Dave Gettleman. Like I'm telling you right now, I know that we've only had a few GMs in our history, but Dave Gettleman was probably one of the worst and most hard headed ones. And a lot of people, like I said, they'll give me backlash for that. But tell me what he did. He got the cap down. That it was a great idea or a great job. Any general manager that is qualified to be a general manager can get the cap down, but it takes a great one, to be a great scout as well. Like, so, like I said, like I just want, like, to me, Dave Gettleman really screwed us over. You know what I mean? Like I said, most of his picks from 2013 until now aren't even on the team. They're cut. There was, remember Brendan Hogan? I actually really did like him. Cut. And it's partly Ron Rivera's fault too, because one of the biggest players, and I guess he wasn't a big player at that time, but I thought he had the most potential to be something that he never really gave a fair shake to. And I know y'all heard me harp on this. I wish that he would have stayed in the league, because I really did feel that David Geddes, a 6th-round pick, was going to be legit. And, he wasn't, like, and that's because he was in Ron Rivera's doghouse. Remember the Barnes or whatever his name was, the one he's in Philadelphia right now? He's a really good kick returner. We've been missing out on a kick returner for how long? And he's a really good kick returner. And we missed out on that. Like, I'm still not in the point where I'm saying, like, now I will say Ron Rivera, he is a top 10 coach, but I'm still in the point where I'm saying, is Ron Rivera a Super Bowl winning coach? People say, yo, he got to the Super Bowl, but he didn't win. And I'll ask it again. Do you believe Ron Rivera is a Super Bowl winning coach? And you can answer that question. You can go to my website, blackcatcommunity.com. You can go to Twitter. Hit me up at blackcat1, cat spelled with a K, blackcat1, at blackcat1, and you can also go to my Facebook page, Panther Nation 28, and just let me know, do you think Ron Rivera is a Super Bowl winning coach? Because I have my doubts. I don't know if he can get it done. He's been there for a while. Like, he got to one Super Bowl. He's made the playoffs. But that River Ron crap has to go. Because he's so conservative. So freaking conservative. Like, it's almost disrespectful to the game. Like, you're so freaking conservative that you don't have faith. Like, you're a defensive coach. You should have faith in your defense at certain times. Like, how many times did he punt? How many times did he do, like, 4th and inches when we're down in the 4th quarter and it's 5 minutes and something to go and we're on our freaking 50-yard line or on the 50-yard line? How many times have he decided to punt to try to see if our defense can stop him, instead of being like, especially when we play somebody like the Saints and everything like that, instead of be like, well, they're probably going to score on us. But if you have faith in your defense to stop them by punting, you should have faith in our defense to stop them if we don't get it. Like, I know it's a field position game. I know it's a stupid way of thinking of it, but I really do think that Ron Rivera, just as it is a make or break year for Cam Newton, I feel. And I feel like I'm saying that every year about Cam Newton, because, like, he's inconsistent, but when he's great, he's great. But when but he misses. Like, he'll make the really, really, like, crazy impressive throws. Like, how in the world did he make that throw? And then he'll miss someone that's right in front of him. So it's the same question I asked. I'm saying about Ron Rivera. It's a make or break year. You're going to show us the type of coach you are. Like, and because you don't have Mike Shula to throw under the bus or anything like that. You don't have people saying, "Oh, you should fire Mike Shula" and all this kind of stuff anymore. You have to prove that you are a legit Super Bowl winning coach, and you need to go out there and get it there, because nobody's going to pick us. Everybody's going to pick the Rams for good reason. The Rams are loaded right now. But you have to decide on how you're trying to run your team. But yeah, like, I mean, he's hopefully Ron Rivera can get us back on track. I know last year, first of all, by the way, and I know if y'all are new, I am very, very harsh on Cam Newton, but if we can get Cam Newton that played in that New Orleans Saints game, look out, league, especially with a coordinator like Turner, like Norv Turner. Like, Cam Newton, to me, he earned so much respect because, I mean, he was beat up. He was all this. We were down. He looked amazing. Maybe not in the first half, but in that second half, he looked great. So we can get that dude. Trust me, we'll be just fine. And going back to Deshaun Hall, I really don't know too much about him. So, like, I mean, I don't know. I know that he wasn't he was really, really raw coming out the draft, but I don't know too much about him. So hopefully he can give us a little bit of pass rush if we don't get a pass rusher. And this is the final straw for Shaq Thompson. Like, dude, you're about to be able to start. Show us what you can do. Like this, it's gonna make what's frustrating me so bad about Shaq Thompson, because it's not that I don't like him. He seems like he I don't even know if he has that great of potential. Like, I haven't seen anything out of him that's like, wow, he can take over for Thomas Davis. It pisses me off so bad. And this is what I'm saying about freaking Dave Gettleman and how bad of a GM he was that nobody won't really want to say. He chose Shaq Thompson over Collins. Collins, an all-pro, a Pro Bowler. We could have had our safety position resolved last year. We could have had it 2 years ago. We wouldn't have had to worry about our safety position. And you draft Shaq Thompson. And everybody knew that Shaq Thompson wasn't going to play safety. Everybody, go look. Like, if you go back and look at that draft, some people had him in the safety, some people had him in the linebacker, but a lot of people said that they're more than likely going to, like, he because he played everything in college. So they were more than likely going to play linebacker. You did not draft a safety. Did not draft a safety. And that is all the way your fault, Dave Gettleman. Like, I don't understand that. Like, we could have had a very, very good safety in the first round. He got drafted in the second round. Everybody knew that people were saying he is the number one safety in the draft. And he dropped down to 20. Well, what were we like? We were like 24 or 25 or something like that. And he dropped all the way down there. And you did not pick him. Thanks a lot, Dave Gettleman. That's another way that you have screwed me, sir. Um, but yeah, like our draft class needs to really show. And like I said, TD being suspended. TD being suspended is your time now. It's your time. So I don't want to hear any more excuses for him. I just want him to ball out. I want him to perform. I don't even think he's had an interception in his career so far. And I know that a lot of people are saying that like that we play a lot of two linebackers. No, actually, if you go back and look at the film, it's a pretty good amount of 4-3. Like we are a 4-3 team, and if you want to count the nickel, because the nickel we use Shaq Thompson a lot, like because he's fast and all this kind of stuff. I want to see why we picked him. So this year, those 4 games that TD is not appealing and everything, you got to show your butt off. And it's about time. Because if you don't, you should be gone. Like I'm tired of it. Yes. Now I don't know if we would draft a running back, but I'm suddenly, as long as we don't go in the first round with it, unless, like I said, I think Chris McCaffrey should get a chance. He should get an opportunity and everything like that. But if Geis or somebody like that, I wouldn't like it. But at the same time, I would understand it. But me personally, I don't think we should draft a running back. Like we have way more pressing needs than a running back right now. Way more. And yeah, like we should focus on those needs. Like I mean, I know that they say that Deshaun Hall and everything is just, he's ready to go and everything like that, but we'll see. Like they got a few cornerbacks that they think may fall to us in the draft. They got Mike Hughes. He's actually a pretty good cornerback. Now Jared Alexander, Jari Alexander, however you pronounce it, him or Josh Jackson, if they fall to us, I wouldn't mind going in the first round for a quarterback because Josh Jackson, that is a special guy. Like that is a very, very special kid. There's some Roto World mock draft has us taking DJ Moore. Like I said, I'm not fond of getting a receiver that early. The only receiver that I see that is a first round pick worthy is Ridley. So, and I know Tony says that that they didn't press him a lot, but the reason that he's going in the first round isn't because he is running down the field wide open and all this kind of stuff. He is a great route runner. So just keep that in mind. So they got. I would be pissed if we took Will Hernandez, or a guard at the 24th pick. I would be mad because there is not, like, other than the top 10, like other than the guard that Nelson guy, there's not a first round guard in my opinion there. Now I wouldn't be shocked if we picked a center in the first 2 picks, but I still would be pissed if we picked one as high as number 1. But I do see us addressing, especially when Ryan Khalil said that this is going to be his last year. I do see us addressing that. So yeah, like oh, and speaking of TD, he kind of hinted to it, but I think he still might do it he still might retire, but he said that he might come back for one more year. And I would love, like, first of all, as a character type of person, and just like a lot of people say last year that he slowed down tremendously and everything like that. I see it as a scheme fit. You realize how many, like, that was the most in Carolina history probably that we've ever blitzed like that. So, I mean, I say it a scheme fit because Luke Kuechly still looked amazing, but didn't put up his normal stats. Like, he is a drop back linebacker that covers ground. He plays sideline to sideline. If he's always blitzing, it's going to get him in and out of positions. Like, so I do feel that the scheme wasn't right for us. And don't get me wrong, I love the blitzing. I'm a blitzer. I feel that, like, but if you're gonna blitz, see, the reason that scheme didn't work, because if you're gonna blitz, you have to have good cornerbacks. Like, remember when I told y'all that that cornerbacks don't make the system and everything like that. You need a good pass rush and everything like that. But there is an exception to that rule, because if you blitz a lot and you don't have great cornerbacks, then there's always going to be somebody open. Because if you got a good quarterback, he's just going to drop back, boom, hit somebody. Drop back, boom, hit somebody. So that's what I feel like. That's why I feel like our scheme wasn't really right for us last year. So happy for Steve Wilkes. You know, for for more than one reason. Because, like I said, he's not our defensive coordinator anymore. Like I said, I love Steve Wilkes, but he's not a defensive coordinator anymore, and that's a good thing, I think. And then that he got a head coaching job, and I wish him nothing but the best. But, like, we our cornerbacks, like I said, we did sign a cornerback. Really don't know too much about him. Like, I'm really, really upset still about Breland. So, we did sign somebody, though. And the last thing that we have up for discussion, and this is coming off of our TD discussion, is the linebacker review. Because each week, starting from now until until training camp, into June and everything, it just depends on how long it takes me to do it. But each week, we're gonna do a position review to close out the show. So I am going to pull up the linebackers, because the first thing we're going to do and talk about is our linebackers, because I feel like with TD going out and everything like that, that's a topic that we really, really, really need to discuss and break down, because, like, I don't think our linebackers. That's why I said I have no doubt in my mind that even if we draft them in the mid rounds or whatever, we will take a linebacker. Not just because of TD, but because we don't have depth at linebacker. So I'm gonna go to. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go pull up my depth chart. All right, so got a roster, I guess, because it won't let me see the thing. So I'm gonna go to position. All right, so for our linebackers, we have Jay Norris, we got R. Brown, we got Brandon Jacobs, Shaq Thompson, David Mayo, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, that's the long snapper. All right, so those are all the linebackers. So I'll repeat it again. We got Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, David Mayo, Shaq Thompson, Brandon Jacobs, Jay Norris, R. Brown. So that's not a lot of depth, and I hear what people are saying about David Mayo. To me, Allen Klein was a better backup. Like, I had more faith when he came in than I do David Mayo. Like, David Mayo isn't horrible. I mean, he's a backup, but I just have more faith that Klein could get it done if he had to step in for Luke Kuechly and all that kind of stuff. So for our starters, I guess we have Thomas Davis, Shaq Thompson, and Luke Kuechly, but we don't have much behind them. Like, I mean, do you have faith in Brandon Jacobs coming in? Do you have faith in R. Brown, Richie Brown? So do you have faith in him? Do you have faith in Jarrett Norris? Like, is that it? He has 4 tackles in his whole career. Like, let's see how much Brown has. We have, it doesn't even tell. He has no tackles in his career. Like, do you have faith in those players? Like, come on. Like, we have to be more realistic. Shoot. That can't be right. It said David Mayo only has 8 tackles in his career. Like, and it's a shame. Like, Shaq Thompson only has 41 tackles in his career, and he has 2 sacks and 1 forced fumble. Like, he's been in the league 3 years. Come on. Like, and then when you go, of course, I'm not even gonna look up TD and then. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not it's not in their career. I apologize. It is for what they did last year. So he had 41 tackles last year, and Thomas Davis had 52 tackles, like solo tackles. These are solo tackles, not like, not like total tackles. Luke Kuechly, he had 74 solo tackles, and that is a down year for Luke Kuechly. Like, so we just need to really, really tone in and get some depth. Like, we don't have to draft somebody in the top 2-3 picks, like, but we need to get some depth. And like I said, we do draft high or whatever, I wouldn't blame him because Shaq Thompson has not shown us the ability to take over games. Like, he's fast. That's it. He's okay in coverage. You got to give me more than that. Well, I mean, today has been actually a pretty good show. Sorry that I like I said, I'm working on my consistency, guys. I'm gonna make sure that I'm here next week. You can follow me on Twitter at BlackCat1. You can also follow me on Facebook, Panther Nation 28. This has been great. And like I said, you can also follow or go to my website, theblackcatcommunity.com, or don't say I'm sorry, blackcatcommunity.com. And we put out articles. You can find my podcast on there and everything. So, like I said, just check it out and let me know what you think. It looks like we're done here. This has been a pretty good show. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget, you can go to my website, and if you feel like it, or if you can, or if you're able to, you can donate. It's just like, I mean, you can donate $1 if you want. It's whatever. Like, it's just to help me be able to deliver these podcasts and different things like that. And sometimes, and if I get a little bit more, then I'll probably hold like little drawings, little different things like that. It's just, I'm just trying to get off the ground, guys. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to me. And this is the Black Cats podcast. Don't forget, if you're not a Panthers fan, you're not a fan at all. Peace.
Y'all know what time it is. Why? I like to introduce the song. Bow, ha. and present to many, Carolina Panthers. T1, let go. There we go again. You know we about to show out, cause we know we gon' win. We ready for the kick out, so go on, let us in, so we can hit the end zone and show you how we dance. Black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. Yeah, black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. Yeah. Game face on, ready for whatever. Rain, sleet, snow, go through any weather. We gon' play to win, as long as we together. We gon' take it out, cause ain't nobody better. Heart of a champ, mind of a winner. All we do is win, 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 that's the anthem. Show up to your city and make a lot of noise, and they be like, who that? Panther! Yeah, we be going hard, and we be going strong. We known everywhere, cause we be putting on. Losing on condone that, point blank period. Shut the league down, cause it is that serious. There we go again. You know we about to show out, cause we know we gon' win. We ready for the kick out, so go on, let us in, so we can hit the end zone and show you how we dance. Black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. Yeah, black, blue, silver, white, black, blue. We gon' get it. Yo.
Hey, Panther fans. Are you tired of being overweight? Tired of not living your life a little healthier? Maybe you don't have enough energy or anything, or maybe you have acne or whatever your case may be. Let us help. We help with thousands and millions of people all over the world to help reach the results that they want. Whether you want to gain weight, lose weight, tone up, you want to get more energy, or whatever the case may be. Please go to my website. It's goherbalife.com/Brandon Herbert. goherbalife.com/Brandon Herbert. And go pick out what you want and everything like that. And once you get to the end in the checkout counter, just type in the promo code BLACKCAT and you will receive 10% off. That's Black Cat for a full 10% off.